Hold on.
Hi,
Hey,
Tom.
Tom.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Tom.
Good morning. You're in the West Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm in San Francisco.
Nice.
Very cool. Okay, Tom, we caught up a few months ago, and good to see you again. And we caught up, but you had some news in the middle of last year where you'd raised a $7.5 million Series A. That's right.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so why don't you tell us and our audience a little bit about Civ Robotics, like what you guys are doing?
Awesome. So thanks for having me here. Civ Robotics, we are automated construction layouts, mostly for outdoor construction sites, a lot of the heavy civil and solar construction.
Mhm.
We literally take the blueprint and put it in the real world in real scale. If it's marking where the foundations for your solar farm and array is, or marking where the stop sign, the sidewalk, or anything we have on the road from a striping purposes as well. And even in large data centers and warehouses, where to cast the concrete, where the foundation work, where the formwork works. All these things need to be laid out in the real world so construction professionals can actually perform those tasks in the field.
Hey, John, perhaps, by the way, congrats on the round. Perhaps for everyone that hasn't been in that part of the market, can you walk us through real quick, without Civ, how does this work? What do people do? And then with Civ, what are they getting?
So before Civ, construction professionals will hire a surveying firm or have an in-house surveyor who will come out to the job site and use surveying equipment. Usually you see these tripods and laser beams or people walking around holding a pole and an antenna on top of it. So they would be walking around looking at a screen, which is guiding them where to go and where to mark the coordinates. And then these surveyors will go and mark at best 200, 300 points a day. And with our robot, they're marking 1,000, 2,000, depending on your accuracy requirements and outputs. So we're taking this skilled labor surveyor who's been doing this in the field for years, and a lot of them are actually trained surveyors, professionally wise. Sorry about this. My dogs are being loud.
We like dogs.
Who let the dogs out?
So taking this technology and bringing it to the hands of the common construction people. We've trained people who used to be nailers, so like assistants with no prior education, or they're not that skilled, to do the work much faster than their boss's bosses. Like, we take nailers to do 4x a skilled, educated surveyor. So we basically took this skilled labor, skilled task, and brought it to a position, to a point that anyone, I mean, it's anyone, without any prior construction or surveying background, can outperform people who've been in this for decades.
Tom,
pretty
it
great.
would be all nice if the robot could go everywhere,
Cool.
but obviously they cannot. So what about if part of the path is nice and easy for a robot to access, but some areas are impossible for the robot to access? Can the data be exchanged between the surveyor and robot in a real time so that some measurements can be done by surveyor?
Look, on the projects that deploy us, typically our robots are able to perform about 95% of the work. And let's say you have a task with 10,000 points. When that robot has completed his task, all the points that it's not able to do, for whatever reason, if it's under, inside the trench, or there's a bundle of materials right there in its way, the robot report will show these points were not marked and have to be mitigated manually. Out of all the projects we've been deployed on, and the number, I don't even know, it's like close to 200 right now, probably. Only one job the robot was not able to actually be deployed on. And because it had these weird environmental things, that the robot was not allowed to go and cross into a bush. So if there's a bush in the way, you have to drive manually around it. I'm like, the robot, the whole point, it's an all-terrain robot. It's a four-wheel drive. It's like a buggy. It will just drive past it. No, they did not allow it. So the output was affected dramatically to a point that did not make sense. Like, if the robot is not going to outperform the manual surveying, we should not, it should not be adopted in that job. that makes sense. So it is an all-terrain system. It is like a buggy. So if a buggy can go there, we can go there also. We have in mud, in sand, in desert land in Saudi Arabia, when the temperatures are so high that they only work for 3 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the afternoon, all the way to snowy Indiana, deep in the snow after a snowfall.
Tom, could you give? I have two more directions I want to go. I only have a few minutes here, but number one would be like, could you give us some cost comparisons? Like, what's the cost of I don't know how you price it, but maybe it's like per point marked versus robot versus human or something.
So the point mark in the US, depending where you are in the how and the scope and magnitude of the project, it's typically between $5 to $10 a point. With us, typically below $2. And even that price really depends on the type of marker and labor costs you have in the region. On some regions, people pay $15, $20 an hour. Some regions, $50 to $100, depending if it's a union job. If you choose a nail, that's 50 cents. If a flag, it's 10 cents. So all these things have a direct impact on the cost per point, while Civ portion, with the volume that we have, is typically less than half a dollar. So it's pretty remarkable how, I had a customer who lowered his cost to $1.20 with us.
That's just compelling, huh?
But it's less about the money; it's also about the quality, and knowing that you can get the job done with one instead of 4 or 6 people, for instance, in a very time crunch manner.
On
a road closure, you can have a surveyor work for 5 hours, and you give the surveyor an hour, 2 hour buffer to do the layout before you can start doing the work. With us, give it 5 minutes. So you actually have almost an hour and a half more to actually do construction at night closures with more pavers.
Yeah. Very cool. One last point from me, and anyone else feel free to pop in. But we spoke last week on here about JLG acquiring Canvas Robotics, and I'm very curious as to what you view a company like Civ Robotics' exit strategy to be in such an industry. I'll leave it there.
So look, there's a few large corporations and organizations in the construction space that can take a product like Civ and expand it even more from a sales perspective to their customer profiles. Of course, the surveying technology companies, but also the equipment manufacturers of the heavy machinery. Civ is very fortunate to have already 2 strategic investors, Trimble and Bobcat. Both have, of course, potential exit and do some acquisitions in the past. But also, since we are very, very heavy involved in solar, there are also solar manufacturers and OEMs and robotics companies who can also be potential acquirers or even developers. We have customers that have been using us in the field, and we've saved them millions of dollars. And there's more to come as we just launched our new product for material handling, distribution, and also more autonomy to come. So I would say there's 3 angles for any construction tech startup for an exit. It could be a strategic, it could be a customer or an industry affiliate, and it can also be a OEM or technology partner that can take your product as well and integrate to their customer profile from a industry standpoint, not necessarily from a product standpoint.
Very cool. Any of the others want to chip in with a question for Tom?
John, what's next for Civ?
That's an amazing question. Expansion in the US and abroad. We already have robots deployed in Saudi, in UAE, in Portugal, in Spain, in Italy, and Australia. We're shipping now to Turkey. So expansion globally with our product. If it's in a crate, and we ship it out. And from a product standpoint, we have already launched the Civ Nav for material distribution. And we have also autonomy for that as well coming out. So we have a skid steer here in California that's driving without an operator, stopping within an inch, and dropping material in the field. So that's coming out. More to come with autonomy to our customers who we're here to solve their problems, and we're here to help them to get things done faster, more precise, and more efficiently. So, just like a lot of surveying companies, technology-wise, started out with surveying technology with the handheld and the GNSS receivers, Civ is going towards machine control, machine automation, and helping our customers get the job done.
What about the drones? Are you planning to use drones for surveying solutions?
Funny that you asked that, Martin. We actually started with a drone. So our first company actually was called Civ Drone. And after developing this really cool drone that puts sticks in the ground, which I still have one here in the office, we killed it. It did not make as much sense. And we decided to take this technology and problem and solve it from the ground. So with the drone, we're able to reach 500 points a day with a lot of batteries and a lot of skilled labor. And today we have customers reaching, the most I've seen is 5,000 points a day. Most are doing about 1,200 to 2,000. So with not skilled labor. So I'm not going to go back to drones. I don't want that risk by myself, and learn from your mistakes and move on and grow.
Very good. All right, Tom. Yeah, thanks so much. Good way to end that. Good luck, man, and hopefully see a Civ Robotics on a solar farm near you soon.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Best of luck, Tom.
Thank you.
Take care, man.